Thank you, Hannah, for providing this overview. There are a lot of information actually, and I'm sure that, of course, companies that are following us live, they have their own question, their own case, their own particular story. So what we actually, and what I would like to convey, the message I would like to convey is to contact us. I mean, we reply in a very fast way within 3 working days. You can present your case and be sure that this will be treated in a very confidential way. And of course, once we have the contents and background information of your particular case, then everything, I think, will be clearer and maybe also easier, and of course, this is a particular market, but of course, we have our own experts that are available there for you. So thank you again, Anna, and then let's see in the Q&A session if there are any question for you. So today the session was organized more as a journey. The first session was on business opportunities, on the support that is available there. Then we focused a lot on intellectual property, and again, showing that there's someone supporting you in your internationalization strategy. And as a last step, we wanted to have a real case of a company that decided to enter the Indian market. So today we have Mr. Pedro Pinto, Head of Global Business Development at Vision Box, who will share the experience of the companies working with, and also the challenges that the company has faced during the journey to India. Welcome, Pedro.
Good morning. I hope my screen is visible. Apologies about my voice. So I will just make a small presentation about how did we end up doing business in India and our process to reach there. So we are a Portuguese SME based in Portugal. And we work on biometrics, mainly on biometrics applied to airports. And we developed our hardware and our software. So this is important because we had to be sure that our design in terms of hardware and our software are IP protected. So we have inside the company, we have a team that works inside our legal department that focus in protecting worldwide our patents, our design, and our software. So I advise all European SMEs, as it was shared today, before they go to the market, to make sure that they do due diligence and protect their IP. So our main market is aviation, and this is important to mention to understand the business case and why we decide as a European SME to look into India. So we have offices, or we had already offices all around the world, and we end up having an office in India, in Bangalore, as a result of our journey to make business in India. So our journey starts back in 2010, where we had the first contact with the Indian market, but it was opportunistic, it was ad hoc, we didn't have a plan, and from 2010 to 2016, not much happened. And then in 2016, we decided to come back to the Indian market with a clear plan, a dedicated team, and with the clear long-term ambition that there was a business opportunity in India, and we dedicate resources to study the market and to take the opportunity forward. So as a result, in 2018, we signed our first contract in India the contract or the size of the contract justified that we open an office and create a team based out of India. And since then, we have been growing on the Indian market. In our process of studying the market, we internally, the Indian market seemed quite challenging. 1.3 billion citizens, 28 states, 22 different languages. So we put ourselves the question, where should we start? So I think the SMEs should not be afraid of these numbers. They should try to focus on the region, on the market, on their product, and start from there. And in our first interaction, it came to mind a saying from John Robinson, which says, whatever you can rightly say about India, the opposite is also true. So the size is so big that can be scary for a SME to try and to invest. But because the size is so big, also the number of opportunities, they are also big. Some of the challenges that we face, it is a lot of bureaucracy. Joel mentioned that they are improving, and that is true. Visible digital improvement in terms of processes can be seen, but still European SMEs needs to be ready, to be patient, to have some of the process not being the same all the time, still a bit of paper base, but it is something that the Indian government is trying to improve. And since we start our office there until now, we can see that there is improvement coming on this direction. So in our specific case, and that's why I want to mention that our specific core area is airports and aviation. When we analyzed the market, we saw that the civil aviation market in India is become to be the third largest in the world by 2024. The domestic operation, it is already the third largest in the world. And currently there are 125 operational airports, and the growing rate of passengers in India has been growing double digit since 2016. So this was the trigger that pushed us to look into India. I'm sure that a lot of European SMEs, if they analyze the potential of the market on their specific product, and Joel has given some examples at the beginning of the session, in terms of these different areas, it is definitely a market that European SMEs should look at, should not be frightened about the size, and I think the opportunities are there. I also think that European SMEs should contact their local Chamber of Commerce, should contact the European agencies that are providing support for expansion of European companies. And we think that definitely it is worthwhile to look into the market and to invest in this market. So our first project was in Bengaluru. As you know, Bengaluru is the IT capital of India. And as a Portuguese software company, we were able to win an international public tender for the project on the third largest airport in India. So I usually say that we could not have chosen a more competitive market sector than ICT. And even we went to the IT capital of India, where most of the world's software is developed by the very high-skilled Indian software developers. And as an European SME, we are able to succeed. So I think this is the proof for all European SMEs that are trying to expand, that it is possible to do successful business in India. There is a market, and that the size or the complexity or diversity of the country should not be a blockage. It should be seen as an opportunity, And we are, our Vision Box, our company is a live example that it is possible to succeed on this market. Some recommendations from real experience. I think that because of the size of the market, I think patience and perseverance is key. I think that the business plan that the companies will design should have a 2 to 4 year term, and I think plan always for the long term is very, very important. I don't think the European SMEs should think that in 6 months they could already start to sell. It is a marathon, it's not a sprint, so perseverance is very important. When you go to India for business meetings, it is very important that on your business card you have a proper job title. I mean that if you have a PhD, if you are PMP certified, if you have a master's degree, don't be shy to use that next to your name. From my experience, Indian culture values your investment on education, and that is important when you're trying to meet C-levels or you're trying to meet people with strong management positions. Do your research, very important. Maybe a product that you have could be successful in Delhi, but it could not be successful in Bengaluru. So research and time and effort is really important for you to try to maximize your investment and to focus in finding the right channel, the right partner, and the right product. I also found very useful to not to try and do the plan for the Indian market just by yourself. We found very important to contact local tax advisors, accountancy advisors, legal teams. Protecting the IP is very important. So our team of our legal department in Portugal spend a lot of time getting advice and prepare the proper way before us to enter into the market. We also find very useful to have someone on the team that speaks the language. So we start with a local partner, then we open our office and we have a full team there working for us. And once you decide to expand, don't limit yourself to the capital, to Delhi. There's a lot to be done in India. There's a lot of states where you can travel and try to find the best product. So when you plan a business trip to India, be ready to travel to other states. And last but not least, investing in building relationships at all levels of the hierarchy and looking for the long term. I think it's key to be able to succeed. If anyone has some other questions, I'm happy to connect offline. The presentation will be shared alongside with my contacts. And my apologies for the state of my voice. I hope that I was able to provide some real experience. And my last note is that India should be seen by European SMEs as a market that is definitely worthwhile to invest and to try and create business opportunities. Thank you.